to the sky turns to a rider tick.
Hey everyone, I'm Colonel Garuda. Happy Memorial Day. Today we'll be taking a look at the 1988 G.I. Joe Meandog. Now this isn't just any ordinary vintage G.I. Joe vehicle. This is the first ever vintage G.I. Joe toy I ever purchased. So naturally I have a soft spot for it. However, it does have some problems which we'll get into later. As you can see, I don't have the packaging, so let's get right into the review. And as you can see sitting on the gun up here, it includes a driver named Wildcard. We'll just take him out and look at him later. So let's get on with the vehicle. Now since this is such an old toy and I got it used, there is quite a bit of dust on the vehicle. I tried cleaning it off as much as I could, but if you see some dust on there that I couldn't get off, I am very sorry. But starting off by taking a look at the front, as you can see, there are just a bunch of holes here for the drivers to see through, and you can actually kind of see the seats in there. This just is so weird because if this was driving at Cobra and about towards some his tanks or something and just fired, the bullets go right through these holes and pretty much kill everyone inside. Now this isn't the worst offender in terms of impractical vehicles in G.I. Joe. I think the worst one would be the Havoc, which was just a glass dome exposing the driver, but this is still pretty bad. Now this little area can open up. It's a little hard to get into, but with some effort you can get it open. I think there's a thing supposed to push down here. And upon opening this up, it reveals some nicely detailed seats and some controls, which is really nice. You can fit 3 figures, as you can see. Now in case you couldn't tell, this is a fairly large vehicle. And the good thing about this, or should I say what makes it interesting, is that it can split apart to 3 segments. So to do that, it's pretty simple. First, you just push this back, and then push underneath here, which lets the front car come out. Or is it a car? I don't know. I've never seen cars like this in real life, but you get the idea. It just rolls out, and just slide this forward, and then this gun tower up top can just come right off and become its own little base. And now that we got the 3 pieces divided, now it'll be a little easier to look at the front part of the vehicle, and honestly this is probably the best one on its own because it looks like it's its own vehicle, not part of something bigger. And once again, you got those holes which makes the drivers vulnerable, and this can open up. It does have this neat machine gun up here, but I don't know the name of the gun. I don't have the blueprints with me. So if you know the name of any of the weapons on this thing, please let me know in the comments. But as you can see, the stickers are kind of worn off on mine. The G.I. Joe sticker right there is worn off. And it looks like it's actually peeling off too. That's not good. It's got some nice detail on the sides there. Got some nice engine detail here, which can't be removed. It's not like an engine cover or anything. I did get this complete. Looks like maybe that's like for gasoline up here. And this part's pretty interesting too. It's kind of hard to see. Trying to get it to focus, but it probably won't. But let's see. Wow, it does not want to focus. That thing does not want to focus, but it says hazard on there. And basically it has a cigarette with a circle and a line through it. I do apologize that it's hard to see, but it is what it is. Not much underneath, it's pretty hollow. But the interesting part is how this thing moves. It got this thing that goes side to side, and when it turns, it kind of goes like something like this. And when you roll this entire vehicle around, it just makes loud squeaking noises like. Okay, maybe not as much here, but when it's all together and you roll around, it gets really loud when you roll it around. It's like nails on a chalkboard, but you can't really do it as much here. You got the United States logo here, it's the United States flag, and you got this thing saying. What does that say? I can't get. I'm sorry for this camera quality, but basically it says unhatched to open. Once again, on the other side here, we got the G.I. Joe sticker, which is completely faded, which is kind of bad. I might have to get replacement stickers if possible. And probably the coolest sticker, oh, there's some dust here, I apologize, is this dog sticker, which looks really cool. I think that'd make a sick tattoo. Really cool logo. Overall, this vehicle is pretty impressive. Oh, and this thing can also swivel, which is a neat feature. That's it for the front section of the vehicle. Now here's the second part. And honestly, this one, it's not bad, but I really wish they found a way to maybe cover this up. Maybe have like a door cover this section here, so this doesn't have this gaping hole. It's just so obvious that it's part of something bigger. But that's just my nitpicking. And what's really nice is that there actually is room for one figure to sit in there. And it's kind of hard to see if I can zoom it in. But there is a sticker with some buttons on it. Like, they don't actually, work or anything, but it's a sticker with a console. And it has a little target on it, probably to help the gunner on the top section of that tower thing to shoot down enemies, which I think is really cool. Got some nice detail in there, and it's pretty deep. For a figure, you can also have a figure stand in there if you want to. It's got some nice detail all around. A few misaligned stickers, but that's okay. It's an old toy, I'll let it slide. Got an army star there. Step here. The G.I. Joe logo. And even got some nice sticker headlights, which is a really nice touch, but this one's kind of crooked, but oh well. Got some more detail here. And I also have some nice detail underneath, unlike the front car, which is really nice. Check that out. Got some stuff down there. Unfortunately, the wheels on both cars don't have any silver rims or anything. That would have been nice, just to give it more realism, but it's okay. This is a more sci-fi-ish vehicle. Like a lot of the older G.I. Joe toys that came out like in the early days, and like in the early 80s, they're more realistic. But once we got to the mid to late 80s, and throughout the 90s, they were more sci-fi based, which isn't a bad thing, but I expect that to be more of Cobra than G.I. Joe. You also have some incredible detail back here where the gun's placed. Now, unfortunately, my copy is broken in a few areas. There's a clip section that's supposed to be here, but that broke, and the gun part is broken in a few clips, causing it to be a little wobbly, which we'll get to later. It's got this universal tow hitch, or tow hook, or whatever you want to call it, so it can like pull some artillery weapons in the line, which is really nice. And also has some foot pegs for some figures to stand in the back. Got this awesome logo of the Meandog right there again, the G.I. Joe logo, and these huge missiles. Oh, there's a loud squeak. And the only gripe I have with these missiles is that if you try pulling it like this, the whole thing will come out. Or wow. Oh wait, never mind, it just came out just like that. And it's really hard to put them back in sometimes, so do be careful. If you were to play with this, I recommend just holding onto this here and then pull the missile, so you can shoot it at some Cobra vehicles or something, which is a really nice little play feature, to be honest. Also, these things can swivel, and they can also go out this far and extend. Maybe you can actually have some figures stand there. I don't know, that'd be pretty cool. So there's that. And now, onto the gun. And here we have the gun, which is just this huge minigun. Probably the coolest thing about the entire Meandog is this whole gun section here. But on its own, it's kind of underwhelming, because this whole thing here doesn't like to hold together very well. It's on these little thing with legs. It's standing up right now, but it took me a long time to get it to stay properly, because this whole gun section just makes this whole thing front heavy. It tends to topple down a lot. So if you're playing around with it, sometimes it'll just fall over and it just looks funny. And also, this gun is sadly broken. The gun itself is fine, but in here there's these pegs that broke. This, I believe, is supposed to connect to here with that other part of the vehicle, the back vehicle, to connect to, and that's no longer functioning. It functions, but you got the idea. It doesn't really clip in, so it's kind of loose and flops around when you're rolling around on the ground. And like I said, this thing isn't really the most stable. See, it just fell over like that, which is really annoying. And these things come off so easily, it's harder to put them back in. But you just try to stand it up like this, hope for the best, and there you go. Now, this thing has an action feature. There's a wheel here that causes the whole thing to spin and pretend fire the gun, which I think is so freaking fun. Now taking a closer look, got the U.S. Army star right there. As well on the other side. Got some moderate detail there, and then got a sticker. It's a little blurry, but it reads high voltage. So is this like an electric powered gun? Does it shoot lasers or something? That's actually kind of scary if you think about it. Got the G.I. Joe logo here, as well as the United States sticker here. Same one on the other part of Meandog. And here's another targeting sticker there. You can fit one figure in there. Overall, it's a really cool gun, but on its own, the execution isn't very good because of how front-heavy this thing is. Overall, the giant gun becoming its own separate battle station is a cool idea, but the execution isn't really there, and it looks like it's about to fall over any second now. Because the gun likes to fall over so much all by itself, I usually just keep it in the back vehicle here whenever I'm doing photography and want to separate the two cars. And I almost forgot that when you push this whole section on the top back, it actually reveals a lot of cool detail. And now we got the Meandog all back together, and overall this is a really cool vehicle. I just have some problems with this section back here, this big gun all by itself. But other than that, I think it's a ton of fun to play with. And now to demonstrate it rolling around, tends to squeak around when you roll it, which can be annoying to some people. Well, it doesn't bother me that much. And now, it's time to move on to the driver Wildcard. And here we have Wildcard, and since the Meandog was the first vintage G.I. Joe toy I ever bought, it also came with this guy. This also makes him my first vintage G.I. Joe figure. I'm gonna say he's definitely not my favorite G.I. Joe figure out there. He's definitely interesting. He's got this military jacket on and doesn't have any shirt, and it's revealing his abs. And he's got this maroon pants, a green gun that's molded into a holster which you can't take out and shoot people with. He's also got this really big helmet which can be removed, and when I got this guy, he didn't come with the helmet. I had to get the helmet separately. As you can see, he's got a nice head sculpt with some paint wear on it. It's very minor. It's like some brown spot there and some red there. Maybe that's blood. That's just my imagination, by the way, not actual blood. And he's got some nice detail on his little vest here. Nice detail on his pants. And it looks like he's got like a little patch on there. It's kind of hard to see, but maybe he ripped his pants one day and down there. He also's got this machete in the back, and this whole holster can be removed. But you can also take out the knife like so, and he can hold it. I'm not really too sure why he would have a machete, like why not like a shotgun or something? But maybe if he's like driving in the jungle and he comes across some vines that are blocking the way, he could just get out and chop up the vines. But other than that, I don't see any use for him using the thing. But he's a solid figure for what he is. And this guy actually has a funny backstory. Apparently, Wildcard is notorious for breaking things in the comics and on the file card, supposedly. I think I'll leave a picture of the file card up right here, maybe like right now. And supposedly he tends to break things. So why would they put him in charge of driving the Meandog? I have no idea. So in my headcanon, he messed up this particular copy of the Meandog while operating it, which is why it has broken clips. And now for articulation, it had the standard articulation of G.I. Joes at the time. It's got a ball-jointed head. The arms could move the whole 360. We're on a hinge, allowed to go out that far. You got a bicep swivel, a bend at the elbow. The O-ring around allowed some movement here. The legs were on ball joints, and he had a bend at the knee. Overall, Wildcard is an okay figure that's really grown on me over time. I didn't really care for him that much when I first received him, but once they gave him the helmet which completed him, I think he looks a lot cooler, and I do like the machete despite wishing he had a gun. And now for a quick size comparison, here it is next to the Sky Striker, and the reason why I'm doing this on the floor is because both of these vehicles are so massive and don't fit on the review table. And there you have my review on the 1988 G.I. Joe Meandog and its driver Wildcard. What do you think of this set? Did you have this vehicle back in the day? Please let me know in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the flip side.